Good morning, all of you. We'll start our today's sessions. We had discussed in the last sessions voltage divider rule, current divider rule, then circuit reduction techniques, open and short circuit concept. We had seen what is meant by voltage divider circuit. In voltage divider circuit, your voltage divided across a series combination of different resistors, that is R1 and R2. Suppose if you assume, right? Suppose if you find out the voltage across a particular resistors, then we have to use the formula. Same resistor we have taken divided by total series combination multiply by your voltage across at a series connections. That way we have to find out the voltage across a particular resistors. Means your uh, register, it should be connected in series with the your voltage source. Okay, suppose if you find out the voltage across 5 ohm resistors, right? Then same resistors you have taken, that is 5 ohm divided by your sum of resistors are present in series combinations multiply by your voltage across at the series combination. That way you have to find out the voltage across at a 5 ohm resistors. Then we had gone through current divider rule. In current divider rule, your incoming current I at the junction gets divided into a parallel combination of your R1 and R2, right? Suppose if you calculate the current at a particular resistors, then you have to take the exactly opposite resistors divided by your sum of resistors multiply by your total current coming at the junction. That way you have to find out the uh, uh, current at a particular registers. Okay, then we have gone through the open circuit and short circuit concept. In open circuit concept, then nothing is to be connected at the end, means R it should be infinity. For short circuit concept, we have to short circuit the at the end, and R it should be a zero, means zero voltage across a short circuit combination, right? Then we had gone through the circuit reduction techniques. When then we have gone through the two different circuit reduction techniques. One is a current source in parallel, and another is voltage source in series combination, right? Suppose voltage source are in parallel, then so current source are in parallel, then we have to merge a single equivalent current source, right? Then we have to add or subtract the current, that is your depending on the directions of the current. If same directions are there, that time we have consider positive. Suppose directions are the different, that time we have consider as a negative sign. Suppose voltage source are in series combination, then we have to merge a single voltage source, but uh, we have to add or subtract depending on the rise or fall in potential. Okay, that we have already discussed these things in the last session. So in these sessions, to we'll see what are the different source transformation techniques and the mesh analysis. Okay, so uh, we have two types of source transformation techniques. One is a voltage to current source transformation, another is a current to voltage source transformation. That we'll see one by one. Okay. Okay, screen is visible. Okay, there. I already told you, screen is visible, right? We have
Yes, sir.
two types of transformation techniques. One is your first. We'll see the voltage to voltage to source source transformation rule. Voltage source transformation rule. Okay, in that we'll see how voltage source is converted into the current source. Okay, suppose in voltage source transformation rule, a voltage source in series with a resistance can be replaced by a current source with the magnitude equal to the voltage divided by the resistance, and and it is shunted by the same resistance. Okay, suppose I'll give the example. Suppose if you have a voltage source, if you have voltage source with a series of resistor, that is R, okay, this is your voltage source. That voltage source you have to convert into the current source by using transformation rule. When you are converting voltage source into the current source, your voltage source, it should be connected with a series of some resistors. That time you have to apply the source transformation rule. That you have to keep in mind. Suppose if you convert voltage source into the current source, voltage source, it should be connected with some series resistor, right? Suppose if you want to convert that voltage source into the current source, what we have to take? We have take the magnitude, that is voltage divided by your resistance. Uh, that way you have to convert into the current source. Suppose I want to convert this voltage source into the current source. That time, this is your current source that we have converted into voltage to current source. How we are converted into the current source? Because we have to take current I is equal to voltage divided by your resistance, that is V by R. V by R. And that same resistors we have connected, shunted to the current source, that is R. Okay, that point A and B we have considered here, and point A and B. Okay, means here we have converted voltage source into the current source. How we are converted voltage source into the current source? Uh, the current source, for converting current source, we have to take the magnitude equal to the voltage divided by your resistance. Voltage you know that already, resistance you know that already. Then we have to simple calculate the current, and whatever resistors present in the series combination with the voltage source, that resistors we have to connected as a shunted to the current source. This way you have to convert voltage source into the current source. But you have to keep in mind, to convert voltage source into the current source, the voltage source must have a resistor in series with it, right? Means your voltage source must have a series a resistor in series. Okay. Uh, the second point, source transformation rule, is a current source transformation rule. Current source transformation rule. Current source transformation rule. Here, your current source is shunted by a resistance. Okay, current source shunted by a resistance can be replaced by a voltage source with a magnitude equal to the product of current and resistance. Your product of current and resistance, and whatever resistor are present in shunted in the current source, that resistors we have to connected in series with the voltage source, right? This way you have to convert your current source into the voltage source. Suppose if you have a current source over here, right, current source I, and some resistors are shunted with the current source, right? Then you have to convert that current source into the voltage source. Okay, how we are converted into the voltage source? Simple. We have to take the magnitudes equal to the product of current and resistance. Okay, then we convert into the voltage source. Okay, that is plus minus depending on the direction. V is equal to product of your current and resistance. V is equal to I into R. Right? I you know that, R you know that, then you can easily calculate V. And whatever register present in current source, that you have to connect in series with the voltage source. Okay, that way you have to convert current source into the voltage source. Okay, these two things you have to keep in mind. Suppose if you want to convert voltage source into the current source, voltage source it should be connect series connected with the some resistors, and current source into the voltage source. If you want to convert, then current source it should be centered with some resistors. Then and then you will convert, or you have to apply for source transformation. Okay, what you have observed here, your voltage source is in series with some resistance. Then this circuit is called as a Thevenin circuit. Okay, okay, voltage source is in series with resistance. That circuit is referred as a Thevenin circuit. Or when a current is in parallel, here you have observed the current is in parallel with the resistance. Current is in parallel with the resistance, that circuit we called as a Norton circuit. Norton circuit. That we'll see in the theorem session. Okay. I hope you clear these things. Okay. Voltage transformation rule and current transformation rule. Is there any doubt in that?
No,
Is
sir.
there any doubt? Okay, then we'll see one example based on source transformation rule. Suppose example, I took a simple example, source transformation rule. Here you V1 plus minus, here 1 ohm resistors, and here voltage source 6 volt. And here again resistors, and here you consider minus or plus voltage source, that is here 8 volt, and here your 4 ohm. Right. So we have two branches over here. This is 6 volt, right? One branch and another is second branch. Okay, branch 1 or branch 2 we call it. Branch 1 and this is your branch 2. Two branches, what you have observed here, two branches are in parallel. Means by converting voltage source into the current source, then we get the current source in parallel can be combined. That way you have to calculate. Okay. So what is your aim here? Your aim is to find out the by using source transformation you have to find out what is V1. Okay, what is V1 you have to find out. Your aim is you have to find out V1 by using source transformation rule. Here what you have observed, here your voltage source is connected with a 1 ohm series combination. Here 8 volt uh, is connected series with 4 ohm resistors. Means you can easily apply the voltage into the current transformation rule, because what you are observing here, your voltage source it connected in series 1 ohm. Here 8 volt is connected Registers. Then you can easily apply uh, voltage to current transformation rule. So now converting voltage to current source transformation rule. Suppose if you want to convert into the current source, what you have to take on? For converting your current, that you have taken I is equal to V by R. Okay, V already known, that is 6 volt. R you already know, that is 1 ohm. And 6 divided by 1, you getting 6 ampere. Okay, whatever resistors are present in here, series combination with 6 volt, that you have to add with the shunted with the current source. Similarly way you have to find out over here, that is V you are already known, that is 8. 4 is series with the resistor, right? That is 4. 8 divided by 4, you will get 2 ampere. And whatever 4 ohm resistor, that you have to connected with a shunted with your 2 ampere current source. Okay, so we'll reduce the diagram here. Here you will get the 6 ampere current, and 1 ohm resistors is connected, shunted with the 6 ampere current source, right? Similarly way you have converted again current source. Okay, that is plus, minus to plus means direction is downward, that is your 2 ampere. And here yours, whatever registers is present, that we have to connected a shunted with the 2 ampere, right? And here this is your 2 ohm, this is your 2 ohm. Okay, 2 ohm. So our aim is find out V1. Okay, now we are finding out V1. So we two current source we have, right? This is 1 ohm, right? This is 1 ohm. Two current source we have. One is a 6 ampere, another is a 2 ampere. We have to combine the current source. Okay, 6 ampere as well as 2 ampere. So one current is upward, and second 2 ampere current is a downward direction. Then what you are getting? Suppose if you want to combine these two current source, that you will get 4 ampere. Right? How you get 4 ampere? Because 6 is your this one, and minus, why we have taken minus, that is a downward direction outgoing current, it is a 2. Okay, you will get the 4 ampere. And similarly for 1 ohm and 4 ohm, 1 ohm and 4 ohm are connected in parallel, means you can take the parallel combination. Rp is equal to 1 multiplied by 4 divided by 1 plus 4, means we will get a 4 minus 5 ohm here. Okay, so again we have to reduce the circuit. So how we are reducing the circuit? Suppose 4 ampere, that we are get the combination of 6 and 2. Okay, and the parallel combination is 4 by 5, parallel combination of 1 and 4. And here what is here? 2 ohm plus V1, right? So we have to reduce again this circuit. Okay, so now our aim is what? Our aim is to find out voltage. So how we are find out voltage? Here voltage you have to find out by finding a current through a 2 ohm resistor. So first of all you have to find out what is the current flowing through a 2 ohm resistor. What is the current flowing through 2 ohm resistors. Then how we are calculating 2 ohm resistors? Anybody can tell how we are find out this current, particular 2 ohm current at 2 ohm resistors?
By voltage divider rule.
We have to find out current. We have to find out current means we have to use current divider rule. Okay. Suppose if you find out voltage, what my question is, you have to find out the current. First of all, you have to find out what is the current flowing through 2 ohm resistors. We have known these 4 ohm resistors across this node, but we have to find out the particular 2 ohm resistor current. Then we have to use the current divider rule. What is the current divider rule? What is the current divider rule? Current divider rule. How we are finding out current divider rule? Yes, we have to find out the current flowing through 2 ohm resistor. How we are finding out current flowing through 2 ohm resistor? Yes, opposite resistors we have taken. Opposite resistor is what? 4 by 5 divided by sum of resistors, that is 2 plus your 4 by 5 multiply by current coming at the junction. Current coming at the junction is what? 4. So now calculate and what is the value of 2 ohm resistor. You people are get 1.143 ampere. Okay. This current you will get the across 2 ohm resistors. If you get the current at across 2 ohm resistors, then you can easily find out the voltage across at a, 2 ohm resistors. How we are finding out voltage across 2 ohm resistors? By using a simple Ohm's law. That is V1 is equal to I into R1. R I, you know that I 2 ohm resistor is 1.143 1.143 multiply by your 2. What do you get? That is 2.286 volt. 86 volt. Okay. This way you have to find out what is the voltage across a 2 ohm resistors. It's a very simple techniques. Uh, by using source transformation, you can easily find out what is the voltage across 2 ohm resistors. Okay. It is clear. It is clear. It is clear. Yes, it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Okay, then we'll start the next point, that is the mesh analysis. Okay, mesh analysis. You have already gone through this mesh analysis in BEE. Okay. What is mesh? Mesh is nothing but a loop. Okay, mesh is nothing but a loop which does not contain any other loop within it. Okay, does not contain any other loop within it. Okay, a mesh analysis or mesh is applicable only for a planar network. Planar network means what? Means plane surface without any crossover. Okay, without any crossover. Okay, when we apply the mesh analysis, suppose if you have a large number of voltage source present in the electrical network, that time mesh analysis is very important. That time mesh analysis is very important. Okay, you have to keep in mind mesh is nothing but a loop. Okay, mesh is nothing but a loop, does not contain any other loop within it. Okay, or it is applicable for the planar network, and it is suitable for the, suppose uh, n number of voltage source are present in the electrical network. That time the mesh analysis is very useful. Okay, so few steps are there to following the mesh analysis. You know that all the steps. Okay, so I'll revise all the steps again. The first step is what? You have to identify the mesh. Mesh you have to identify. Identify mesh. Assign the direction. Identify mesh means you have to find out loop. Okay. Then you have to assign the direction. Direction. Assign the direction. Okay. And assign the unknown current to each mesh. Assign the direction means what? Assign the direction or assign the unknown current to each mesh. Okay, that is our first step. Second step is what? Assign the polarity for the voltage across the branches. Polarity. Assign polarity. Assign polarity. Okay. Assign polarity for voltage across the branches. Third step is what? Third step, you apply KVL around the mesh and use Ohm's law to express the branch voltage in terms of unknown mesh current and the resistance. You apply KVL. KVL. Okay. Then fourth step is what? Solve the simultaneous equation. Solve, solve simultaneously. Okay, these are the steps to find out the mesh analysis. Okay, the first step is what? You have to identify the mesh, assign the directions or assign unknown current in each mesh, assign the polarity for the voltage across the branches. Third step is what? You have to apply KVL. Okay, then by using KVL or you use the Ohm's law to express the branch voltage in terms of unknown mesh current and the resistance also. Okay, and fourth step is what? You have to solve the simultaneously equations for unknown mesh currents. Unknown mesh currents. These are the steps to following the mesh analysis, right? Suppose I take a simple example. You have already gone through such type of examples in BW. Okay. Okay, we have considered the network as a three meshes. Okay, as a three meshes. So I'll draw the circuit. B1, here you are R2, here you are R4, here you are R1, here R5, B3. Okay, these are the circuit. Okay, this is a circuit. Then how many loops are there or how many meshes are there? There are three meshes, right? Mesh 1, 2, and 3. Okay, mesh current, you have to give randomly I1, I2, and I3. Suppose I'll apply I1, I2, I3 in clockwise direction. Okay, suppose I apply the direction here clockwise. Suppose this is current flowing through this mesh is I1, current flowing through this mesh is I2, and current flowing through this mesh is I3. Okay, then you have to assign the polarities also. Suppose for the convenience, you have to apply the polarities of the elements. Suppose we have a resistor over here, we have to assign the polarity from positive to negative here R1, here from positive to negative for this loop, for I1 positive to negative. Here for the second loop I2 I have to apply positive to negative for R1 for the second loop. Here for R3 I have to apply from positive to negative, and for R4 is again same for positive to negative. Okay, for R3 we have to apply for positive to negative. Here again we have to apply positive to negative for third loop R4, and here again we have to apply for positive to negative. Okay, for the convenience you have to assign the polarity of the register or each element. Fine. Then you have to apply KVL. For the mesh analysis, it should be you have to apply KVL, or it should be KVL is applicable for the mesh analysis. So we have to apply KVL to mesh one. So we have to apply KVL to mesh one. Suppose I am starting from V1 here. V1 for first loop. Okay. V1 KVL to first loop. KVL to first loop. Right. V1 is V1. Then current is flowing through this manner. V1 again R1. R1 is what? Positive to negative means that minus we have considered here. Minus here R1. But this I1 is a R1 is a common between I1 and I2. But both the current are the clockwise directions. So we have to consider here I1 I1 minus I2. I1 minus I2. Okay. Then minus again this current is flowing through R2. Again we have considered positive to negative polarity means here minus R2 means this R2 is a common between I1 and I3, again clockwise direction both the current means here I1 minus I3, I1 minus I3, okay, is equal to 0. So this way we have to apply KVL to the circuit. Okay, have you drawn the diagram? Have you drawn the diagram? Okay, so now voltage source is what? V1. So we have to keep it outside. So we have to simplify this V1 minus R1 into I1. R1 you have to multiply into the bracket plus here R1, that minus minus plus R1 I2 minus R2 I1, again minus R1 minus I3 plus that plus R2 plus R2 I3. Okay. So this way we have to simplify. Okay, then you have to keep it outside V1 as it is. V1 is equal to, then you have to see what is the common here. I1 is a common, right? So R1 and R2 is a common for I1. So we have already taken V1 outside, means this it should be a positive, means here R1 R1 plus R2 I1. Again you see which is your I2. I1 is over, then I2 is this, means here R1 I2 means here positive signs, means here we have considered minus because V1 we have keep it outside. Different methods are there. Okay, Okay, then minus R1, R1, I2, I2. Again here, say I3. Okay, here I2, R2 is there. Okay, R2 is there. Again minus R2, 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 I3. This is your equation number one. Okay, this is your equation number one. Okay, similarly, you have to apply. Are you understood these equations? Are you understood this equation? Unmute yourself and tell me. This is understood.
Yes, sir.
Okay, similarly, way you have to apply KVL at mesh 2 and mesh 3 and tell me what is your mesh 2 and mesh 3 equation. Apply and tell me what is the equations. Randomly, I'll ask you. Okay, have you drawn the diagram, circuit diagram? Have you drawn the circuit diagram? So, what is the KVL at mesh 2? KVL at mesh 2 is KVL at mesh 2. Apply KVL at mesh 2. Tell me. Suppose KVL at mesh 2 is what? Circuit diagram. KVL at mesh 2. I will directly write down the equations KVL at mesh 2. KVL to loop 2. So here what? Here V2 minus R3 I2 minus R4 I2 I3 minus R1 I2 I1. Okay, this is a KVL apply a mesh 2. Okay, you have to simplify this equation. Okay, we have started V2 again minus R3, the current is I2, minus R4 is a common between I2 and I3. That's why we have taken minus R4 I2 minus I3. Okay, then R1 is a common between I1 and I2, then minus R1 I2 minus I1. Okay, so you have to simplify this equation. So you'll get you'll get minus R1 I1 plus R1 plus R3 plus R4 R4 I2 minus R4 R R4 I2 is equal to, that is equation number 2. Have we solved these equations? Here just we have to multiply R4 into I2 minus I3 and R1. We have to multiply into bracket I2 and I1. Okay, then you will get this equation at KVL 2. Suppose if you apply KVL at mesh 3, then what equations you will get? You will get, suppose you apply KVL third, third loop. So now tell me what is the third equation you will get. Third equations you will get. You simplify it and tell me what is the equations you will get. Gopal, Gopal,
Yes, sir.
what is the third equation?
V3 minus R2 bracket.
In final equations you tell me. Final.
Sir,
V3 is
writing, sir.
equal to,
Wait a minute,
yes,
writing. I'm writing.
Rohan, Rohan Bisse. Rohan, Rohan, what is the third equation? We'll get. So third equations, Rohan, the third equations will get minus R2 I1 minus R4 I2 I2 plus plus R2 plus R4 plus R5 I3 is equal to, okay, this equations you will get,
Yes, sir.
this equations you will get simple. This is a suppose in the third loop, okay, R2 is there. Suppose if the current flowing through a clockwise direction, their minus sign is there. Minus R2 I3, okay, minus R2. That R2 is a common between I1 and I3. Means minus R2 I3 minus I1 minus R4 minus R4, but R4 is a common between I3 and I2. That is I3 minus I2, and again minus R5 I3. Okay, and here negative and positive. Okay, negative and positive. Right, plus V3. Okay, then you have to simplify and you'll get this third equation. Okay, this is 1, 2, and third equation. Okay, I hope you getting this all equations.
Yes, sir.
Then you have to write this equation in the matrix form. Okay, you have to write this equation in matrix form. So writing equation 1, 2, 3 in matrix form means I1, I2, I3 in terms of voltage V1, V2, and V3. Okay, right? I1, I2, I3 in terms of V1 and V2, V3. So it's not visible. So now tell me what the getting here. Here you are getting. So we are writing I1 is what? I1 is what? R1 plus R2 plus R2. First equation. I2 is what? Minus R1, and I3 is what? I3 is what? Tell me. Minus minus
R2.
R2. R2, yes, minus R2. So here for I2, I1 is minus R1, I2 is R1 plus R3, R3 plus R4, and here minus R4, I3. And for I3, third equations, for I1 minus R2, I2 minus R4, and I3 is your R2 plus R4 plus R5. Okay, you have to write this is I1, I2, I. So we write this I1, I2, I3 in terms of V1, V2, V3, V1, V2, and W. Okay, now in general form, how we write that is R11, R12, R12, R13, R21, R22, and R23. Here R31, R32, R33. Okay, this is your I1, I2, I3, I1, I2, and I. In terms of V1, V2, V3, V1, V2. So here we write all this equation in general form means what is your R11? R11 is a nothing but your self resistance of sum of all resistance in mesh 1. Okay, here R11. R11 is self resistance or sum of all resistance of mesh 1. And R12 and R21 is nothing but R12, R12 and R21 is nothing but the mutual resistance or sum of all resistance common to mesh 1 and mesh 2. Common to mesh 1 and mesh 2. R13 is what? R13 and R31. R13, R31 is nothing but the mutual resistance again. But sum of all resistance common of mesh 1 and 3. Mesh 1 and 3. Means what is R22? R22 is nothing but the self resistance or sum of all resistance of mesh 2 itself. Okay. R23 is what? R23 and R32 is nothing but the mutual resistance or sum of all the resistance common to mesh 2 and 3. Okay. And R33 is a nothing but the self resistance or sum of all resistance of mesh 3. Okay. That way, in the general form, you have to get it. Okay. I hope you understood the mesh analysis. Okay. It is clear. The same things we have to apply. We have identified the mesh. Then we have to apply the directions. Then we have to assign the polarity. Then we have to apply the KVL and whatever equations you are getting, I1, I2, I3. That equation we have to solve simultaneously, right? So there are two methods are there for solving the simultaneous equation. First method is by using Cramer's rule. You can find out, or by using directly calculator. I1, I2, I3 value you have to put up and you solve by using calculator. There is no mandatory methods to apply either Cramer's rule or You have to solve directly simultaneously. The Cramer's rule is so lengthy actually. Instead of people using Cramer's rule, people using only by using calculator, and they solve the simultaneous equation and will get the value of I1, I2, and I3. So we will not focus on the Cramer's rule. Okay. So we have to use directly calculator. By using calculator, we have to solve the simultaneous equation. You know that already how to calculate or how to calculate the simultaneous equations in calculator. Yes or no? Yes or no? Hi, I'm sleeping. Hello, Ayush.
Yes, sir.
Yes, then we'll see then our next example. This is very simple actually. Example, and next lecture we'll see the dependent. By using dependent source, we have to analysis the mesh. Okay, by using dependent source. This session will see only independent sources. So 6 or 10 or 1 or 3 or here your voltage source 20 volt. Okay, this is three loops are there or three meshes. Then you find out your aim is what here. Your aim is you have to find out the current through 2 ohm resistors. You have to find out what is the current flowing through 2 ohm resistors. This is your aim. Means you have to find out the current flowing through 2 ohm resistors. Means you have to find out the I2. Okay, I2. Okay, this is actually homework for you people. You have to solve and tell me the answer in next session. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir.